'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the flat, not a creature was sober, not even the cat. The empty glasses once filled to the brim with liquor, now had been placed on the mantel, empty, with our Santa left sicker. He had high hopes that he wouldn't end up in jail, as last year he did, just chasing some tail. To gain some more appetite, he lit up a spliff. He seemed to not be able to handle his own, burped it up and got a good whiff. Our Santa knew the true one would be off giving gifts of puppies and kitties, but his one-track mind could only think of tickle bitties. When suddenly at the door he heard 3 knocks. All he could think of was, oh fuck, it's the cops. He opened the door to what he thought were 2 red eyes, quickly realized it was just 1 red nose, and he was too drunk to advise. He stared confused, realized they had the wrong house. I'm not the real one, he stated. I ain't got no spouse. Then they realized their old man was still missing, set off to find him, and to leave him going on with his alcohol mixing. As I am going to be going in with water-activated paints and alcohol-activated paints and other little nasty products, I'm going to be priming my face first. Normally I would suggest when using rigid clothing to map out where you're putting it first and then go in with it and then add the color over top, but seeing as how I'm wanting this to be a little bit more of a fresh looking scar, as if our bad Santa has just been in a recent fight, I'm just going to be going in with a red water activated paint to map it out, which will almost act as a dry blend by the end of it. Although I am only showing me putting on a layer or 2 of the rigid clothing, all in all I probably put about maybe 10 layers, leaving each one to dry in between and then doing other things while waiting. It is a process. Some of those things do include making my brows white with a disposable spoolie and a white liquid lipstick, and adding a discoloration on my face with alcohol activated paints. Again, this is why you need the primer, starting out with a bit of blue and gray diluted with a ton of isopropyl alcohol. I'm placing that on my skin and dabbing it out with my fingers. Dab, dab, dab. For an even more dispersed look. I also got with more of a yellow tone to make him look sickly. This bad Santa has not been taking care of himself for a long time, if ever at all. He's the kind of person to give your kids cigarettes and gloat about boning your mom. These discolorations are going to be liver or age spots and just general nicotine remnants and a lack of proper skin tone. I'm also going to be adding some blush to my eyes. This can be done with a red or pink cream product. Someone's eyes will start to get a little bit red and droopy when they haven't slept much and have been kind of just binging on drugs and alcohol for longer than they can probably remember. I'm adding some of that gray tone to my lips as well after squishing or pressing them together. If you guys are here for my Halloween series, then you probably know this by now, but this tends to give the appearance of a lack of blood flow, aka death. As for facial hair, because clearly I ain't got none, I'm going to be using a skin-safe adhesive. This is liquid latex, and I'm placing that over my upper lip, and then I'm going to take that up and out, then below, and all around where facial hair usually is. I'm going to be adding some of that to my face, wait a couple seconds, then add some crepe hair to it that I've cut down to the length that I want it to be. I'm adding a chunk of adhesive, holding it down and tearing away the rest for the most natural seam that I can possibly have for someone that doesn't have facial hair. Little pro tip from someone who is not a pro at all. If you do want it to look a little bit more natural, you can definitely put some down and then obviously rip it away to make it look more natural. But even past that, if you put it on top of each other, like do layers and layers and layers, it tends to look a lot more natural because obviously hair grows in layers and layers and layers. I am trimming these up a little bit because although they are called flavor savers, I do not want to save any flavor on these guys more so than you saw in the original intro. Because this is not my hair, it is crepe hair, and I do not need that in my mouth. Now enjoy the next 50 seconds, voiceover free. And we're back! No duh. So, to sink this into my skin a little bit better, to basically just make it match up my odd little complexion, I'm going to be adding some gray water activated paint and kind of blending that out with a damp beauty sponge. To the actual beard itself, I'm adding water activated paint in yellow this time around to make it look like a lot of nicotine has just been chillin'. For my teeth, I'm coming in with a alcohol-based enamel tooth paint, which is basically something that you have to put over very, very dried out teeth for it to stick, and it is a bitch to brush off. You do need mostly alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, to get it off, or about 10 minutes of brushing your teeth otherwise. Continuing on for the glam aspect of this, I'm just going to be adding a mascara, and we're done. Anti-party. Look at those pearly whites.
I don't know you!
Well, fine then. What do you want for Christmas, little boy? Nope, it's not yours. It's not yours at all. Really? Really? Get out of my shop. Seriously? You're sitting down all day, dog, all day. And it's just when I need the shot. Move.